Every single day, you open your phone and there is a new post about AI, a new tool, a new model, a new person telling you that if you are not using AI right now, you're already falling behind. And if you're being honest with yourself, that feeling has probably been building up for quite a while now. This quiet anxiety that everyone around you has already figured this out except for you. Look, I know that feeling. I've been there and I made it out to the other side as someone who now uses AI in my day-to-day and in my business very profitably. And that's exactly why I made this video, because today I'm going to show you the easiest way to make money online using AI. I'm going to break down why most people are using AI the wrong way, which industries to avoid and why, as well as the hidden in plain sight market where AI gives you the biggest unfair advantage, and the simple system behind it that anyone can follow even if you have zero experience. No fluff, no overwhelm, just the clearest, most direct path I can give you. So let's get straight into it. If you're here, you're probably stuck in one of two extremes. You're either using AI for the most basic things, like using ChatGPT to write an email or maybe summarize an article. And that's it. That's where it ends. Or you're going deep into complex technical applications, building custom models, training neural networks, writing code for tools, but that's not applicable for 99% of people, especially beginners. So you've got one extreme that's too basic to make you money, and another one that's too complex for anyone without a computer science degree. But the real money is actually made in the middle, the sweet spot where AI becomes a genuine money-making machine for the everyday person. Now, just to make it very clear, when I say the easiest way to make money with AI, there is no such thing as get rich quickly and get rich easily, but there is get rich quicker and easier, and that's what I'm going to show you. So look, I'm sure at this point you've seen 100 different people online telling you 100 different ways to make money with AI, and maybe you've spent hours researching all of them trying to figure out which one actually makes the most sense for you. But here's the very basic premise that you need to understand about all of them. Every guru out there is promoting the model that work for them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just because it worked for them doesn't mean it's the right starting point for you. Every one of these models can work. That's not the question. The question is, which one is designed for someone at your stage with the time, the money, and the experience that you actually have right now? And that distinction is everything. Now, before I break down which markets to avoid and which ones work, I want to mention something. In this video, I'm going to give you the foundational concepts, the framework, and the thinking behind making money with AI. But if you want to go deeper, if you want me to actually show you step by step, sharing my screen, how to make money with AI in practice, which tools I use, how I use them, then I want to invite you to my third and final iteration of the Make Money Online Challenge. Starting April 26th, I'm going to go live for 5 days to break down the same AI system that generated $8.9 million for those who applied it the first time and $15 million the second time. And all of these earnings were tracked and verified on WAP, the platform that I invested millions and millions of dollars into, where every dollar was tracked on a public leaderboard in real time. We ran this challenge 2 times, and now we are closing this chapter with one last challenge. So if you want to be a part of this, I'm going to leave a link in the video description so that way you can get your free ticket. And with that being said, let's get back to the video. First of all, here's the crucial thing most people get wrong about making money online with AI. AI is not the business, it's the engine. You don't make money because AI exists. You make money by plugging AI into the right industry. So the formula is simple. AI plus the right industry equals the easiest way to make money. And honestly, that brings us to the most important part of this video. Charlie Munger, who was Warren Buffett's business partner, used to say, "Tell me where I'm gonna die so I don't go there." So before I tell you the best markets to make money with AI, we need to cover which ones to not go for. And here's the thing, when I tell you which industries work for beginners and which ones don't, I'm speaking from millions of dollars of real experience and zero emotional attachment to any single model. I run a multi-million-dollar physical product brand. I have millions and millions of dollars worth of real estate in my portfolio. I've built many different softwares. My first business was an agency where I was making tens and tens of thousands of dollars a month in pure profit. So the goal here is not to say which ones are good or bad, but to identify which ones are the best fit for your reality as a beginner. So when I evaluate a market for someone starting out with AI, I'm looking at 2 simple criteria. What problems does AI fix here, and what problems does AI not fix? It's as simple as that, because it doesn't matter if AI fixes all the problems in an industry and does all the work for you if that industry still requires you to invest tens of thousands of dollars to get into it, right? Because that's not a business that's viable for beginners. Just like if you had a business that you can get started with zero investment, but it requires a lot of of knowledge that takes years to develop that AI can't just do for you. For example, like becoming a doctor or an engineer or any type of manual work like construction. Obviously, AI can't fix those problems for you. So let's evaluate some of the most common industries out there that people like to get into because of AI. And the first one is physical products. This includes e-com, drop shipping, Amazon FBA, private label, basically anything where you're selling a physical item online. Now, AI has definitely made this industry more accessible than it used to be. You can use AI to generate product listings in seconds, write ad copy that converts, create product images and mock-ups without a photographer, and even analyze trends to find winning products faster. A few years ago, all of that would have required a team. Now, one person with the right AI tools can do it alone. So AI is a real lever here. It fixes a lot of the problems that historically would have stopped people from getting into this industry. But here's the problems that AI can't fix in the physical product industry. Number one, you still have to develop and manufacture a product in the real world. It needs to be a good quality product. AI doesn't fix that problem for you. It can't develop and manufacture a product in the real world for you without you getting a supplier. That already starts to make things complicated because now you have to manufacture a product. And what does it take to manufacture a product? It takes money. Money to develop different samples of your product. For example, we develop dozens of samples before I actually approve one that we make at my eyewear brand Hills. Now, of course, you can use AI to speed up the ideation process and everything, but once things get in the real world, AI is out of the window. Now, let's say you do develop and manufacture a very good product. What's the next step? Well, you need to ship that product to your customers, right? Well, once again, AI can't help with that either. You need to physically go there, ship the product, take care of the logistics, which is all extremely stressful, and you need to make sure your product actually arrives at your customer's door. Yes, you can hire an agent or a 3PL to do this for you, but that doesn't remove that step of the process or the complexity of shipping logistics. Now, try doing that for hundreds of orders a day. That's a difficult operation. Not to mention that for every single order, you have to pay for the cost of the goods, right? Which eats into your margins and causes massive cash flow issues, which is why even successful physical product brands often go out of industry. So, being 100% honest, has AI made this industry a lot easier to get into? Absolutely. Does it remove all the problems with it? Far from it. Now, let's analyze the investment industry. This is going to cover real estate, stock market, crypto, trading, basically anything where your money is the product. And people are using AI in this industry in a lot of very interesting ways because AI can analyze market trends, it can identify undervalued properties or stocks, it can generate daily investment reports, and it can scan thousands of data points to find opportunities that you would never spot manually. Some people are even using AI trading bots that execute trades automatically based on algorithms that have been proven to be successful. So the AI leverage here is real in terms of analysis and speed, but here's the problem. No matter how good your AI tools are, the fundamental structure of this industry doesn't change. You still need capital and you still absorb all of the downside risk. AI can't fix that problem for you. Yes, you could use AI to identify the perfect real estate deal that's almost guaranteed to make you money, but that still serves no purpose if you don't have the money to execute the deal in the first place, which is usually tens of thousands of dollars. Even if you try to finance that with the bank, most beginners simply won't get approved for financing in the first place. Now, some people hear that and go, okay, but what about trading? Day trading, options, that's where the real money is. And once again, I understand the appeal. In theory, trading gives you the potential for bigger returns in a shorter time. But 90% of retail traders lose money. That is data from financial regulators around the world. And trading isn't about strategy, it's about managing your emotions under pressure, fear, greed, and the urge to avenge a loss. Can AI do that for you? Can it manage your emotions? No, of course it can't. Most people massively underestimate how psychologically brutal this industry is. And that doesn't even mention risk. One of the highest in any industry, whether it's real estate or stocks. Every dollar you put in is real money at risk in a market that you have no control over. There's no product, no customer, no marketing, no asset you can control and influence. The bottom line is yes, AI has made this industry way more accessible, but it doesn't fix the biggest problems of this industry, which is exactly what makes the failure rate so high. Now, what about the software industry? This is an interesting one because there's a lot of hype right now around no code and AI powered development. People telling you that you can build a full SaaS product without writing a single line of code. And look, the tools are impressive. Things like Lovable, Cursor, and other specialized AI tools have genuinely made it possible to go from an idea to a working prototype in days, not months, which is genuinely insane. AI can write your code, it can design your interface, it can set up the database, and even help you debug. So the AI leverage for building the product is massive. It's probably the industry where AI has had the biggest impact on the creation side. It's actually something that was beyond imagination just a few years ago. Now, Here's the problem that AI does not fix just yet. Building the product is maybe 10% of the software game, and AI can help with that 10%, but the other 90% is where things get difficult, and AI can't really help you with that. Here is what most people don't know. Most software companies operate at very low margins in the beginning. Many actually run at a loss for years. That's by design. The whole strategy is to acquire as many subscribers as possible, even if it costs you more to acquire them than what they're paying you. You're spending $50 to acquire a customer who pays you $20 a month, hoping that they'll stay for 12, 18, 24 months. You are burning cash for months before you even break even on a single customer. To do that, you need funding, investors, or a very deep pocket. And there's very well-known terms for stuff like this. For example, pre-profit. It's funny because some of them are even pre-revenue. That is, not only do they lose money, but they also don't generate a single dime to cover some of those losses. So even with AI handling the development, you still have massive ongoing costs, technical complexity, and the very real possibility of building something that no one wants to pay for. This is not a game for someone who's just getting started and doesn't have any capital to burn. Now, the fourth industry we're going to analyze is the services industry. This includes freelancing, consulting, agencies, basically anything where you're providing a service to clients or businesses. And this is the industry where AI has arguably changed things the most for beginners. You see, a few years ago, you would need to develop a proper skill before you could offer a service to anyone. You would need to learn how to code to build websites, or spend months learning video editing, or get good at graphic design before anyone would pay you for it. But now, AI can do most of that for you. You can use AI to build professional websites for businesses in minutes. You can use AI to edit videos, write ad copy, create social media content, design logos, run data analysis. The barrier to delivering a high quality service has never been lower. So AI is a huge lever for this industry. You don't need to be an expert anymore. As long as you know how to use the right AI tools, you can help other businesses. But there's something that AI still can't solve for this industry, and that's actually the personal relationship of the business, which is getting and keeping clients. AI can't get you clients on its own. Getting clients is its own art form. You still have to do manual outreach, and that's the reality of any service-based business. Clients aren't going to come to you at first. You're going to need to go out and find them. And when it comes to keeping those clients, it can be even harder. At a certain point, you hit a ceiling. And by the way, I know this from personal experience. My first ever business was an agency. Every new client I took on made me busier. My entire day started to belong to other people. To grow further, you need to hire more people, manage more clients, deal with more complexity. Even if AI makes the fulfillment faster, developing and keeping a good relationship with your clients is not something that can be automated. That's just the reality of it. So in general, the services industry has greatly benefited from AI, but the most crucial element of the business, the client relationships, is still the same as it was before AI was a thing. So let's summarize what we've discovered here so far. Physical products. AI fixes the online side of things, creating a store, getting good product pictures, ad creatives, etc., but it doesn't fix the offline side of it, dealing with suppliers, agents, and shipping logistics. For investments, AI can now automate your whole investment strategy. It can even operate trades for you. The problem is you still need a lot of capital to get started and deal with all of the risks and the emotions that come with it. For software, AI has essentially made it possible for anyone to develop their own software, which is insane. But the problem it doesn't fix is the part of growing a software business and all the things that come with it. For services, you can now provide services that previously required years of learning and developing the skill for. The problem it doesn't fix, getting and keeping clients, the personal relationship side of the industry. Now, I want you to look at this list and pay attention to one thing in particular: risk. Apart from services, here is what all of the other industries have in common. They all have risk. They work like a slot machine where you have to keep putting money into it to keep playing, with the risk of losing everything at every new attempt. With physical products, you need to spend money on developing a product, paying for the shipping, the handling, and the cost of goods. With real estate, stocks, and trading, you need to put high capital on the line, and every operation is real money at risk. With software, you keep paying for servers and operating at a loss initially. And the problem with all of these is that at some point, if things aren't working out, you run out of money, you run out of savings, you run out of time, and then you're forced to quit. Not because the model doesn't work, but because you couldn't afford to keep playing long enough to figure it out. That's why 90% of businesses fail. And AI doesn't fix those problems for you. AI doesn't remove the inherent risk of those businesses. So now that you know what not to do, let's reverse engineer what you should do instead. So we can figure out an industry where AI does fix all these problems for you, and you are just left with all the benefits of it. So if we take all the problems we just mentioned, we know that ideally we need something that doesn't require physical goods, inventory, or shipping, doesn't require you to risk high capital upfront, doesn't require you to operate at a loss hoping to break even later, doesn't chain your income to your time. And to solve all these problems, we need something that is digital, so there's no cost of goods or shipping, free or near free to build, so that way you don't need investors or to risk your savings, not tied to your presence, so that way you can make money even while you sleep, and something that doesn't require any previous experience. And there's one industry that fits the bill perfectly. It is a hidden in plain sight industry that's currently sitting at $250 billion, and it's projected to outgrow the music, film and entertainment, and retail industries and get as big as the sports industry at $480 billion annually as soon as 2027. This industry is called digital products, and the best part, it works like an unlimited slot machine where you don't need to put any coins to keep playing. You could pull the lever 10 times, 50 times, 100 times, and at the end of those 100 attempts, you would be in exactly the same financial position as when you started, even if none of those attempts were successful. Nothing lost, nothing at risk. And unlike a real slot machine, the odds actually improve with every pull because you learn what the market actually responds to. Not only does it have low risk, but it also fixes all the problems that we just mentioned. It's digital and you don't need to spend a single dime to develop or deliver your digital product. You can get started and build as many AI digital products as you want virtually for free. So, first things first, what is a digital product? Well, a digital product is a downloadable piece of content, a PDF, a guide, a template, a worksheet, a checklist, a video training. Think of it as anything that solves a specific problem for a specific audience, getting them from point A to point B. You create it once and it can be sold an unlimited number of times. No inventory, no shipping, no warehouse. Someone clicks buy, the product delivers itself instantly, completely digitally, and you get paid whether 10 people buy or 10,000. And the cost to you is nearly zero. Now look, a few years ago, if I told you to get into digital products, I would have had to put a huge disclaimer there because creating a good digital product used to be incredibly hard. When I created some of my flagship products like Agency Navigator and Agency Accelerator, it cost me millions. Entire production teams, Netflix grade cinematography, licensing fees. And on top of that, you needed to either be a genuine expert in your field or spend years developing that expertise before you could create something that people would actually pay for. That was digital products 1.0. And for a beginner with no expertise and no budget, it was basically off the table, but something changed. AI changed it. Because of AI, this is now the only market that hits all 4 criteria on our scoreboard. Let me show you how. Entry barrier, the lowest of any model. You don't need any inventory, capital, employees, or even a skill set. You don't need to be an expert in the topic. AI has been trained on effectively the entire collection of human knowledge on the internet, so that way it can research, structure, and create a complete product for you. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection. Scalability is infinite. You can create the product once and get 10 people or 10,000 people to buy with nearly zero additional cost. The same product keeps paying you without any extra work from you. And because AI can create new products in under an hour, you can keep adding new income streams to your portfolio as fast as you want. What about the reward? Well, it's the highest relative to the effort that you put in. AI handles 90% of the work, from finding the right topic to researching the content to building the entire product for you. And because there are virtually no costs, almost every dollar you make is pure profit. And now, the big one, risk. As close to zero as you can get. This is the part that makes this model fundamentally different from everything else that we just talked about. If a product doesn't sell, you haven't lost any money. You haven't burned through an ad budget. You haven't bought inventory sitting in a warehouse. You haven't spent months of your life on something that did not work. You just create another one at the same near zero cost as the first one, and you keep pulling that lever until one hits. That is AI digital products. You only need one product to hit to change your entire financial situation. And I know this for a fact because last year I became co-owner of WAP, a unicorn tech company that makes it insanely easy for anyone to make money online with digital products. Right now, people are processing over $200 million a month in digital product sales on our platform. And this number is growing every day faster and faster. Now, back when I made that investment, our users had just crossed $1 billion in earnings through our platform. It took us 4 years to achieve this milestone. 6 months later, they crossed the second billion. Just over 4 months later, the third billion. And the biggest thing I can see when looking at WAP data is that there's still a huge demand gap. Back when I invested in WAP last year, there were just over 570,000 paying customers actively buying products on the platform, but only 10,000 people with a digital product listed. Today, we have over 21 million buyers on the platform for a total of 79,000 businesses making money from the digital products on WAP, meaning the number of buyers is growing faster than the number of people creating products for them to buy. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but How do I even create a digital product? That sounds complicated. Here's the thing, AI creates it for you. AI has been trained on effectively the entire collection of human knowledge available on the internet. Every study, every research paper, every forum discussion, every expert opinion across every field imaginable. No human expert, no matter how many years they've spent in their field, can access, process, and synthesize that volume of information, but AI can. In minutes. Writing ability, creativity, research skills, technical knowledge, those are all things you used to need in order to create a product. Now, AI handles every single one of them. The things that used to disqualify you from this industry are the exact things AI has removed from the equation. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. People are making serious money with digital products in the most unexpected topics imaginable without ever showing their face. Stuff you would look at and think there's no way people are paying for this. For example, on WAP, there's this guy selling a digital product on how to create Fortnite maps. 37 customers paying him $250 a month. That's $9,000 in recurring income. He's never shown his face online, yet he's made over $126,000 from this single digital product, completely anonymous. And he's doing this all the way from Vietnam. So you can do this anywhere in the world. All of that to say, with digital products, you don't need any experience. You don't need to show your face. You just need to let AI do the work. The only thing that matters is whether the product solves a real problem for a real audience. And once again, AI can figure that out for you. So how does this actually work? Well, there's actually 3 steps to this entire system. Step number 1, identify a profitable opportunity. Most people make the fatal mistake of choosing a topic based on what they like or what they're passionate about. The market doesn't care about your passion. The market only cares about one thing. Does your product solve a problem people are already desperately searching for? And AI can answer that question in just a few minutes. It scans what people are already buying, it identifies gaps where demand is high but supply is low, and it tells you exactly where to aim. The key is going specific, not wide. You don't go for fitness, but instead how to eliminate shin splints for new runners over 40. Not productivity, but how to reduce screen time as a self-employed professional. The deeper you go, the less competition you face, and the more desperate your audience is for exactly what you're offering. Step number 2, let AI create the product for you. This is the part that shocks people the most. You don't do the research. You don't write a single word. AI handles all of it. It synthesizes thousands of studies, research papers, books, and expert blogs on your topic in minutes. Then it structures everything into a complete, ready-to-sell product. Take the example of Armando, one of our clients. He was 19 years old, working construction full-time. That's all he knew. That's what his dad did all of his life as an immigrant. Armando had no expertise in anything digital. He actually bought a computer for the first time to start executing on this. He used AI to create his digital product, and in 90 days, he made $111,000. A 19-year-old construction worker with no technical background, no online experience, nothing. Or Zada, she was completely new to the digital product industry, yet she made over $120,000 in revenue since June 2025, while taking care of 2 kids at the same time. The size of what you can build has nothing to do with the life that you've lived so far. Now, step 3, get in front of the buyers without selling. Forget the word selling. Think about Kellogg's. How many times has someone from Kellogg's knocked on your door to sell you cereal? Never. They put the box on the shelf when you walk in hungry. That's distribution, not selling. AI digital products works on exactly the same principle. You see, there are marketplaces like WAP where buyers are already in buying mode. They are there to specifically find and purchase digital products. Your job isn't to convince anyone. Your job is to have the right product listed at the moment the buyer arrives. You don't need followers. You don't need sales skills. You don't need to talk to a single person. You create the product, you list it, and the platform handles everything else. Now, there's one very important thing I haven't told you yet, and if you miss this, everything I just showed you won't work. When I've been saying AI this entire video, I do not mean ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini. Those are generic AI tools, and generic AI is the reason most people try this and fail. Let me explain. Let's say you want to build a website. You could go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you the code, and it would give you something, but it would take you hours of back and forth, tweaking prompts, fixing errors, and you would still end up with something that looks like it was made in 2005. Or you could use a specialized AI tool like Lovable or Cursor that was built specifically for creating websites. You describe what you want, and in minutes you have a professional functioning website. Same task, completely different result, because the tool was built for the job. Someone already spent months and lots of money working on making that tool achieve one specific goal. So that way, you don't need to do it yourself. And this is actually one of the biggest frustrations people have with the generic AI. You spend more time writing the perfect prompt, giving context, correcting mistakes, and adjusting the output than you would if you just did the work yourself. You're constantly fighting the tool instead of letting it work for you. That's not how it's meant to be. The same principle applies to creating digital products. Tools like ChatGPT are designed to answer any question and write any type of content for any kind of person. A tool built for everyone produces content for no one in particular. It's generic, it's forgettable, and you can find it for free online. No one pays for that. It's like going to a general practitioner and asking them to perform brain surgery. They know a little bit about everything, but that's not what you need. You need a specialist. For example, for finding the most profitable topics and building the entire digital product, there's an AI tool called Synthesize AI. Let's say you wanted to generate realistic AI voices. There's 11 Labs, which was built specifically for that. If you want to create professional presentations, there's Gamma, which can build an entire slide deck for you in seconds. Each one of these tools does one thing and does it exceptionally well, and the results they produce are in a completely different league compared to what you would get from a generic tool like ChatGPT. And this is exactly what I'm going to show you at the Make Money Online Challenge starting April 26th. I'm going to show you which specialized AI tools to use, how to use them, and how to build your first AI digital product from scratch, step by step, in real time. Just remember, this is the third and last time I'm running this challenge. The first time, the people who took action generate $8.9 million in 90 days. The second time, $15 million. But now we've updated the AI tools, we've updated the method, and we are expecting to make attendees break all the records again. So if you want to be a part of this last Make Money Online challenge, click the link in the description. Now, I want to make something clear. Everything I've just shown you so far, this opportunity, this model, this system, it's real. It's working for thousands of people, but it won't look like this forever. Let me show you some numbers so that way you understand how fast this market is moving. Transaction volumes for digital products increased nearly 70% between 2022 and 2024. The online learning market alone hit over $250 billion in 2025 and is projected to reach $500 billion by 2027. E-learning as a whole has expanded 900% since the year 2000. This market is exploding, and right now most people still don't know about it. Most people are still stuck trying to figure out e-commerce, trading stocks, or building software, which means the space is wide open. It's a blue ocean. There are buyers searching for solutions right now that no one has created yet. There are niches with massive demand and almost zero competition, but that won't last long. Think about what happened with every other online opportunity. Dropshipping was incredibly profitable when only a few people were doing it. Then everyone found out, the market got flooded, and margins collapsed. Amazon FBA was a gold mine for early movers. Now you're competing against thousands of sellers and razor thin margins. Now every niche is packed. The pattern is always the same. Early movers capture the opportunity. Everyone else fights over what's left. Right now, AI digital products is in that early mover window. The tools exist, the marketplace exists, the demand exists, but the supply hasn't caught up yet. That gap between demand and supply is where the money is, and every month that passes, the gap gets smaller as more people figure this out. The question is whether you're going to be one of those people who got in early, or one of those people who watched from the sidelines and said, oh, I wish I'd started this sooner. Because a year from now, you're going to look back at this moment and you're either going to be glad you started or you're going to wish you had. Just remember the unlimited slot machine analogy. You only need to hit once. And right now, the machine is barely being used. So make sure you do something about it. And with that being said, as always, I'm watching from afar and I'm rooting for you.